detached gardens, and you have to belong to the Historical Society, and then you can rent one. The present price is $20 a year. I don't know whether that's going to stay there or not, but that's what it is now. And raise some beautiful things.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Look at this rose. Something. Now we're going to skip this building because this is, like I said, a self-tour thing. When you're through showing people all around, then just tell them about the museum store and the museum part that's here, which is very interesting. If we had the manpower, it would be nice to have somebody in there all the time, but we don't seem to have gotten to that point in the past. And have
Good.
most of the things around here are in progress. You know, they're changing all the time. And this building especially. And this is a still. The still belonged to a man named John Moore. He had it on McNeil Island during probation and made lots of good stuff, I understand. And then it was at our house, and when the government took over the whole island, McNeil, people moved off, and a lot of them moved over here. So when John Moore moved down on Amsterdam Bay, and there was a 40-foot hand-dug well there. It was 6 feet across, and it was salty. It was too close to the water, and it was salty. So he just went down there and put a platform down in the well, and he put his still down there, and then he put his chopping block and all these shavings and stuff around on the top of it. And when the federal agents would come, why, he would sit on the chopping block and whittle and would say, "You're bum beefing me, I don't make the stuff." Well, anyway, we want to get it together so that so people can see how it actually worked. And the feed sacks. This kind of feed sack here was used for clothing, and in order to get all that stuff out, they had to use lye and bleach and all kinds of stuff. And then finally the company became kind enough to make paper ones that they put on. I suppose it was not for the housewife, it was for their advantage, but they put paper stamps on, and so that could be easily removed. And then finally they made them in plaids and prints and flowers and all kinds of things, so that lots of dresses and underwear and slips and what have you were dish towels, sheets, pillowcases were made from the feed and flour sacks. Up here on the ceiling, the Johnson brothers kind of kept a little diary sort of thing, and it says May 20th, 1958, started hay, and there's many things that say the weather, and here March the 3rd, 1960, snowing 7 inches. So we're trying to figure out how we can preserve this. And that's really a problem, because we don't want to put anything over it, and yet it is fading. One thought was to maybe trace over the writings of those that are faded the most, but I don't know. Maybe some archival person. There's sort of a prefab. Each section is 30 feet, and then this 10-foot feed area. This is where they stored their feed in the 10-foot one. And then this was, all right, the shelves back there were actually part of the roofs, and they're counterweighted, they have cement in them, and I think you can testify to
Yes,
what
right.
the cement that was in there, because they took out a couple.
Took out a couple and it was a lot of cement.
Yeah. And, but that was to counterbalance, so that they could clean the roofs. They could pull the roofs down and clean them. As a counterbalance.
Yeah. Pulley up here in the ceiling. Yeah. Pulley right there. A rope ran through the operating.
It's too bad we don't have one operational, I think, but maybe we could sometime. We don't now, anyway. This is kind of the saw area, all the crosscuts and the drag saw, which would go around to the tree instead of bringing the tree into it. And, this is a fro to split shakes. Blade, pound it down with this thing, and this is to straighten the shake so it can lay right. And we have our washing area over here.
Is this where we're going to display that new yoke?
Yes. Yeah, we'll have to figure out just exactly where we want it. We need to get rid of those incubators, some of that stuff.
Those
in
old
the corner.
cabinets back there.
Yeah, those are incubators.
Oh, those are incubators. Oh, okay.
I have permission to good plain display, all kinds. And the animal traps, these belong to Dad's dad.
Illegal now.
Yeah. I think he trapped mostly moles and gophers and things like that. And skis and sleds to show that it does snow once in a while. This is our photo contest for this year, and they will be put in albums over in the museum part. Just getting started. And this is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The Cameron brothers, they tried all kinds of things. They were really adventurous. And this was an old water tank, so they decided to make a diving bell out of it. So they had a hose up above, just a tire pump hose, and they pumped water down, but their diving bell wasn't balanced and they almost drowned themselves. But anyway. And we have a lot of pictures in here of the old Foss tubs and some of the mosquito fleet ones that came here to the island. And this is from Justin Foss Life Preserver. This paddle and this mast belonged to this lady here. And this is a picture of her canoe. And she would go all around Anderson Island, McNeil Island, the peninsula, any place she wanted, Steilacoom, any place she wanted to go. She would take her, and this one you pull behind a boat, and that one you just stand up and reach out with the long, long pole and get scoop the
Is this
area
Higgins
in.
Cove there, or is that what that
Yeah,
would be?
Yeah, that is,
Yeah.
Nellie Higgins.
This old building now is just about gone.